Or what?
They're leaning into woke. Hardcore.
They're petrified
Yeah.
of some kind of backlash. I mean, you see with Disney now. I mean, Disney, one of the most gay-friendly companies.
And Disney decided to hire the most insufferable girl boss narcissist that exists on Earth, who hates Snow White.
It has proven to be Disney's worst investment ever in the history of Disney investments. I mean, they've gone through various scandals with this girl.
If I'm Bob Iger, you know what we're doing? Emergency meeting. We're putting Snow White on hold for 2 years, and guess what?
Smart.
Pay her a couple $1,000,000, go away. We're gonna bring another person to play this role.
Great. Okay? It's great. I'm honored. I don't know why I sound so angry right now. I'm honored. Am I
I'm a narcissist. Original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
You must stop everything, because what just happened is straight up Hollywood madness. It's not every day you see a Disney princess vanish overnight like some real life escape plot, but that's exactly what went down with Rachel Zegler, the same Rachel who was handpicked to breathe new life into Snow White, the crown jewel of Disney's princess empire. One minute she's smiling on red carpets, the next she's gone, vanished. Boom. News broke like an explosion. $100 million, 0 cents lawsuit. Disney slamming legal documents straight across her agency's desk like it was war. And poof, Rachel disappeared before anyone could get a single comment. Cameras camped outside her Los Angeles condo hoping to catch a glimpse, but all they saw, an empty curb and frantic press pacing like they'd missed the biggest scoop of the decade.
You know, I don't need your business. You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it. You didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White.
Right.
You should shut up and do the job.
Then, bam, flight record surface. A single name tucked into a late-night passenger list. No press release, no airport paparazzi moment. Rachel had quietly boarded a non-stop international flight. And just like that, the girl who once floated across stages in a Snow White gown, she ghosted Hollywood, leaving behind nothing but questions, scandals, and a storm of litigation. What the hell happened inside that Burbank boardroom? What turned Disney's Golden Girl into public enemy one?
These people, and this is the difference between a business owner or someone who does very well for themselves in the private sector to become wealthy. This person was born looking a certain way and has a God-given ability to lie for a living. That's really what acting is, to pretend.
It started like a fairy tale, a modern twist on the original. The marketing, meant to be inspiring, bold, feminist. Rachel looked radiant in early promos, hopeful, energized, ready to carry the legacy. But it didn't last. She made one offhand comment calling the original film dated, then another brushing off the prince's role like he was a forgotten background prop. It hit Disney fans like a slap, and it only got worse.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious.
Soon after, a live stream moment exploded online. Rachel, visibly annoyed, half joking that audiences would show up to her films no matter what. Fans were not laughing. The video spread like wildfire, set to dramatic violins, cut into memes. Reaction channels feasted on it. In just days, the sweetheart image started to shatter.
Jonah Platt, whose father helped produce the latest Snow White film, had some very harsh words for star Rachel Zegler.
For context, Variety wrote a report recently titled Inside Disney's Snow White Fiasco, Death Threats, Beefed Up Security, and a Social Media Guru for Rachel Zegler.
This is Rachel Zegler, who Disney decided would be brilliant in casting because, as Rachel Zegler says, her millions of fans will line up no matter what she does to see her.
Those who once adored her began watching the clips back with a different lens. They saw something ugly: entitlement, arrogance, a disconnect with the very fans who were supposed to make Snow White a billion-dollar juggernaut. Disney's PR team tried to plug the leaks, but it was like trying to patch the Titanic. They had banked on youthful energy, but what they got? A PR nightmare they couldn't control.
Telling timeless classic tales, and they want people to buy tickets to go see them. These companies have very different strategies of accomplishing that goal.
When producers gently asked her to tone things down on the European press tour, she didn't backtrack, she doubled down. She insisted on honesty for her generation, and then came the political post. Controversial, unfiltered, uploaded at midnight despite execs begging her to wait. It blindsided the marketing team, and when an internal message leaked, it only added fuel to the fire. Artistic freedom or career sabotage?
I'd say that This is one of Disney's biggest regrets ever. I mean, I checked, we've discussed it before. I checked Rotten Tomatoes, and the score is even lower than the last time we talked.
Things unraveled fast. Test screenings confirmed the damage, families felt alienated, trailers seemed preachy, and longtime Disney fans said the heart of Snow White had been swapped out for a political hashtag. Still, executives tried to stay optimistic, pointing to pre-sale numbers. They were hoping Thanksgiving would be their Hail Mary, but behind closed doors?
However, every time she speaks, she gets less likable. There's some clip of her on the internet in her Snow White outfit saying, "Every hour I am in the outfit of Snow White wearing the dress. All 18 hours, I deserve to be paid for every single one."
It was chaos, budgets were wrecked, special effects delayed, the marketing bill ballooning out of control, secret memos circulated. What if this thing flops? They prayed to hit the $500.00 mark globally, something once guaranteed for a legacy IP. Then came opening weekend.
God.
All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
What? So yeah, my agent would have punched me in the face.
Snow White didn't even take first place. A low-budget, pixelated kids comedy crushed it. Globally, it tanked. Even optimistic estimates couldn't mask the reality. Disney had a bomb on their hands. News headlines crowned it, "Remake fatigue is real." Investors were furious, shareholders were grilling executives about the collapse, and one question kept coming up. Why did Rachel seem to hate the very story she was hired to lead?
I'm sorry, but I don't really care what happens with this movie. I really hope her career is pretty much over. I'd be thrilled to see that.
That's when Disney's board got serious. Lawyers went combing through Rachel's contract and bingo, they found a rarely used clause. It stated that no actor could damage the brand with public statements. Guess what? They had the receipts.
Brand. So I watched it for the first time in probably 17 years.
Surveys showed a direct link between Rachel's interviews and people refusing to buy tickets. Analysts estimated a $100 million 0 cents loss because of her statements. That's enough to make 2 full animated movies or fund a whole season of Disney Plus content. The legal team got to work.
Here's what I told Bob. I said, I'm curious, Bob, don't you think messages like this is why Disney keeps having box office flops?
Advertisers pulled back, tie-ins canceled, and every half apology Rachel tried fell flat. One video shot against a blank wall was supposed to show sincerity. Instead, it screamed damage control. People weren't buying it.
Just listen to what she says. She just sounds bitter and angry.
Then came the moment that felt like a movie plot twist. Rachel was spotted at a private airport terminal. 1 suitcase, 2 assistants, no press, destination unknown. But Twitter detectives traced the jet. Dubai? Canada? Maybe both. The next morning, Disney filed their lawsuit. $100 million 0 cents. Breach of contract, reputational damage, and suddenly, the princess had become the villain of the very empire she was supposed to save.
We're raised on it. People like me who watched Disney princess movies when the world was okay and it was acceptable for us to dream about being a princess as a woman and meeting a handsome prince. But oh no, these big bad feminists now are telling us that's ridiculous.
Hollywood froze. Lawsuits between stars and studios aren't just rare, they're nuclear. Suing your own lead actress? That's like detonating a bomb in the middle of Disneyland. Agencies panicked. Boycotts were whispered. But behind closed doors, some executives admitted it had to be done. Rachel had become unmanageable. One casting director spilled that studios now hire entire teams just to scan actors' TikToks and Twitter before they're even cast. But no one expected a PR disaster this expensive.
How dare you want to meet a handsome prince and be swept off of your feet and live happily ever after? No, you should want to be the prince. You should want to go out and fight the bad guys with a sword. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do that.
And the internet, it exploded. TikTokers broke down the lawsuit line by line. Legal podcasters ran episodes with titles like, "Can you really sue a princess?" Everyone had a theory. Would it settle quietly? Or would it drag through court and rewrite how Hollywood manages talent contracts? At the same time, something painful was happening for Disney. The rival pixelated flick, the one that should have been a cute side note, was dominating. It didn't just beat Snow White, it demolished her. Families were obsessed. Theater crowds shouted lines, laughed in sync, and kept coming back. It was pure joy. Snow White, a whisper, a warning. Disney's merch partners panicked. Dolls and dresses based on the remake? Shelved. Fast food chains scaled back toy promos. Cruise line shows scheduled for next year were quietly canceled. No buzz, no demand, just dead air. The story had stopped being about a princess. It was about failure, about how far Disney had drifted from its roots, and about one actress who flew too close to the sun. Soon, paparazzi got back on the trail. Grainy photos appeared. A woman who looked just like Rachel seen shopping in Dubai. Another photo, dining behind tinted glass at an upscale restaurant, couldn't confirm it. But it didn't matter. The mystery was too juicy. Was she hiding from a subpoena? Meeting lawyers? Moving assets? PR agencies whispered that a recovery campaign might already be underway. Some even said a crisis consultant from London had flown in to rebrand her entire public identity. Back in California, Disney's earnings report flopped. Analysts linked a third of the losses directly to Snow White. Some said the lawsuit was less about money and more about saving face. The message? We don't let stars tank our brand without consequences. But others weren't so sure. Would younger stars now fear taking iconic roles? What if speaking their mind turned into a $100 0-cent M risk? Suddenly, being a Disney princess didn't look so magical anymore. Cinephiles dug into the film itself, and what they found? Confusion, clunky writing, shallow world building, a princess who wanted to lead politically but didn't seem to have a story that earned it. Critics tore it apart. Even leaked concept art showed the shift, classic fairy tale forests replaced with cold, steampunk cities. It was Snow White in name only, and the fans felt it. Behind the scenes, Disney's CEO snapped. He summoned creatives to a retreat at a secluded Northern California campus, the same one that once birthed classics like Up and Inside Out. The goal? Total reset. What came out of it? A roadmap. Fewer remakes, more original stories, tighter social media rules for stars. No more PR chaos, one insider said. At the same time, Disney's legal team made a move. They reached out to Rachel's people. But what followed? Silence. No public truce, no apology, just leaks. Rumors that Rachel might agree to a structured settlement, spreading repayment over decades. In exchange, no blacklisting, no career destruction, but both sides leaked stories that the other was unreasonable. It was a media tug-of-war, and the public was eating it up. Meanwhile, the Pixel flick crossed the $1 billion mark. It got 2 sequels, an animated spin-off, theme park zones were announced, merchandise flying off shelves. It was the anti-Snow White. No politics, just fun. Disney had to watch the success happen, while their biggest remake was collapsed. The contrast? Devastating. Animators reportedly cried. Some said they no longer recognized the studio they grew up with. As for Rachel, she was still gone. But then, weeks later, she posted not a TikTok, not an apology, just a photo, captioned "Still learning," a soft smile, a book in hand, city skyline behind her. It went viral in minutes. Fans zoomed in. What book was she reading? Was that a wedding ring? Was this a peace offering or a final goodbye? Lawyers at Disney saw one thing, her location. They filed paperwork that day to extend jurisdiction and serve her internationally. But just when it looked like legal war again, something changed. Rumors whispered they were talking again. This time, a deal might actually happen. A settlement, huge, tens of millions, but not upfront, structured like royalty payments. Future music, streaming, stage shows. She could work again, but a piece of her paycheck would always go back to Disney. A truce. Mutual silence, mutual spin. No one could declare victory, but both sides could move on. And as summer arrived, Disney launched a brand new original animated film. Bright, sincere, no agendas, just joy. Audiences loved it, critics praised it as a return to soul. Snow White? Never mentioned, but everyone knew. It was the flop that changed everything, and Rachel, she was still writing. Friends say she journals daily, reflecting on the divide between what she meant and what people heard, on how every sentence now lives forever, looped, clipped, judged by millions. Will she return? Maybe. Some indie producers already smell Oscar buzz if she reemerges with the right, raw, honest role. Hollywood, after all, loves a comeback. Disney, meanwhile, has reportedly added entire new chapters in their actor contracts, media training, political filters, social clauses. Someone even joked the next round of princesses will attend Disney boot camp, where they'll learn what not to say until after the credits roll. But in the ashes of it all, one truth remains. Fairy tales are bigger than studios. They belong to the people. And when storytellers forget that, when stars speak without care and corporations forget compassion, even the biggest brands fall, and even the brightest stars board midnight flights, wondering if home will ever feel like home again. So mark it down. The Snow White incident, it wasn't just a flop, it was a reckoning. Flop.